Hi, today I'll be building a commissioned rack and look what I found. I remember complaining that I never find anything. Well, this is my lucky day. Well, looking closely, maybe it was not that lucky. We'll see. A friend of mine wants a music rack for a special corner of his house. I measured the place and then bought pre-cut MDF. I'm going to assemble the panels using screws. The top is going to be wood. I bought some select pine planks and I'll cut them to measure. To cut them, I'll use my handsaw. Now, that piece that I found was not really useful. It is all particle board and everything was quite damaged. Only one plank was salvageable. It is quite dirty. After removing those IKEA-like screws, I'll measure and cut. These will be the lower division for my friend's speakers. After cutting and sanding, it was time to fill all the holes with Bondo. I'll fill those scratches as well. When it dried, it was time to sand and scuff sand. I want my surface smooth, but with some texture for the paint to adhere. I also sanded the planks for the top. I'll be joining both pieces with glue and pocket screws. Then I measure the place where the particle board cuts will go. I try to make the smoothest side faced inwards so they can be appreciated better. Then a lot of measuring. Wrong place, bad measuring. Now the first shelf. I'll be securing it with screws. I'll add metal corner braces to make it extra strong. I'm going to apply some wood filler to the knots and cracks of the top. The separation between the first and the second shelf must provide enough room for my friend to place his vinyl record collection in the middle of the piece. What's going on, Milo? No, baby, it's too early and the sidewalks must be still hot. I'll install the braces for the second shelf. And here it is. Wait a second. Oh my god, it is shorter. This is the first time this happens to me. I never measure the cuts when I pick them up. I'll send the wood filler and I'll think of what I can do. I'm going to use one of these wood dowels. I'll glue the MDF to the dowel, and it looks perfect. Now, another sanding to the top with 120 grit. I'll secure the top with wood glue and braces. I'll create a base for the rack based on the famous DIY wife base, but this time the legs are going to be very short. If you find this content interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe. I am also offering membership to my channel with wonderful perks such as exclusive videos, nice emojis such as this Milo love, and so much more. There are two categories, primer and top coat, each wonderful and full of exclusive content. I'm going to stain the base with my favorite oil-based stain in dark walnut, applying it with a foam brush and then wiping the excess immediately. To seal the base, I'll spray 3 coats of poly in satin finish. I'm going to attach the base using pocket screws. I'd like to thank Jennifer for inviting me a cup of coffee. With all those cups, I'll be buying a circular saw. I also have an Amazon wishlist. The links are in the description below. Now you'll think I lost my mind. This piece is too big and I want to spray it. A neighbor gave me a super cheap paint sprayer that he could never use and I want to give it a try. So I'll unfold this plastic cover and I'll see what I can do. First, light sanding inside. I'll secure the front of the base with screws. Then staining the top. Then I can cover it with newspaper and painter's tape. I'll trim the panels that go in the back for support. And I'll nail them to the piece. Now, Milo, you must not come here. I'll start priming the piece. I still have some spray left, so I'll use that first. Then I'll continue rolling the primer all over the piece. MDF is quite thirsty, so I want to create a barrier between the wood and my paint. Then, the moment of truth. I'm going to spray chalk paint. I'll thin it with water. And the cheap sprayer is crap. It has a mini compressor that overheats. The flow of the paint is extremely irregular, and as it blows super hot air, the paint blocks the nozzle. So I'll go back to a normal brush while the sprayer goes to the trash. The paint is navy blue, my friend's favorite. I'll paint the back in black. It was time to give the top its first coat of top coat. Here you can see the piece almost ready. I'll start sealing it with poly in satin finish. I'll give it a total of 3 coats. Here is the final piece. I sent some pics to my friend and he loved it. If you're interested in building something like this, I'll be posting the measures and the drawing on my members community tab. If you're interested in flipping furniture, maybe this next video will be interesting. Bye!